Welcome back to the channel and to another video. This is Dad Mod Gaming and I'm Cullen Bango. And in this video, we are going to be breaking down the Star Wars Jedi Survivor trailer. Let's go. All right, let's get into this. I've been hyped for this trailer.
The order is gone. I was betrayed.
Who's this guy?
By the one I trusted most.
It's a recipe for the dark side right there.
I will not be imprisoned again.
Who is that? It's BD1. Crash landing on a planet. Star Wars right there.
Busy making yourself the Empire's.
Who is that, Seer? She's full-blown Jedi. Oh, let's go.
A Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
Okay, bud. Oh, let's go. It's double blades, baby.
The Empire's only grown stronger.
Oh, yeah, it is. This is the best. This is the best time period in Star Wars. Oh, we got a buddy.
Thanks, Claude.
Part of the job, Kestis.
We'll fight with that buddy. Sick.
The Jedi is a threat.
Now that we have
Who's this?
As long as we fight. Hope survives.
Hope survives. There it is. It's going to be amazing. March 17th. Pre-ordering right now. All right, let me start this breakdown off first by saying this. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. They're my favorite movies of all time. I fell in love with the original Star Wars, which was Episode 4. Then Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. The Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite Star Wars movie to date. I really can't find a movie that's better than The Empire Strikes Back. Let me just, go on record saying that. However, my favorite era of Star Wars is the prequel era of Star Wars. Why? The prequel era is the golden age of the Jedi. And here you have the Jedi, especially in Episode 1. The Jedi keep order and peace in the galaxy. That is their role, okay? They're not soldiers by any means, but they make sure that these systems stay, as best they can, that they stay peaceful toward one another. The prequels highlight that. We see the Jedi Order in full swing. Obviously, in Episodes 4, 5, and 6, the original Star Wars trilogy, the Jedi are extinct. It's alluded to what the Jedi were. And now in the prequels, we get to see the Jedi. And now, fast forward to 2023, we know what a Jedi Knight is. But back then, before these prequel movies come out, you really didn't know. And these prequel movies really, showcase the Jedi and the Sith for that matter. Now, the prequel era is the golden age of Star Wars in terms of the Jedi maintaining peace and order in the galaxy. You had the Galactic Republic. We saw the government for what it was, and then the government falls and turns into the Empire. And when I originally saw Star Wars, I always wondered how that happened, and then I got to see it when the prequels came out. So I happen to love the prequel movies. What's awesome about the prequel movies is we see Anakin Skywalker turn into Darth Vader, but the sub-era within the era of the prequel movies is where we're at with Cal Kestis. And that sub-era, if you will, is by far my favorite era of Star Wars because the whole entire government within the galaxy has been taken over. The dark side reigns true. We know what happened to Anakin Skywalker. We know what happened with Order 66. We know what happened to the Jedi. And that time period between the Jedi falling and the Death Star being created and the Battle of Yavin, that whole sub-era within the prequel era of Star Wars is my favorite era. It's my favorite era because you see glimmers of hope within the darkness. And those glimmers of hope are the greatest stories because you have the greatest heroes come out of, from that. Look at Rogue One. Rogue One was a phenomenal movie, and I always thought they make a reference to the people in Rogue One in the original Star Wars. Obviously, that movie was created, off of that line. But the girl says, she's like, oh, many people died getting us this information. I always thought to myself when I first saw that movie, who are those people? And then I got to see who those people were. That's the era of Star Wars I'm talking about. And it makes for really great storytelling when you have those fine details come to light, because it makes the overarching story of Star Wars that much greater when you see those little details or those puzzle pieces, if you will, stacked up to support that story arc. As silly as that sounds, but I think you can get what I mean. The prequel era is by far my favorite era. And this game takes place during that prequel era. Not only does it take place during the prequel era, but it takes place right after the fall of the Jedi, when the Jedi kind of on the run and Darth Vader is hunting the Jedi. That if there was a sub era within an era, it would be this. And we have this character, Cal Kestis, who is a phenomenal character. He was a padawan. He becomes a Jedi essentially in Jedi, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in the first game. And you see him go from a padawan to becoming a Jedi Knight in my view. And this game looks like it just expands on that. I love Cal's character. He's in the pinnacle of Star Wars as far as I'm concerned. In that era, that sub-era of the prequel era, when Darth Vader is on the hunt. And I feel like this game showcases that, and I love everything about it. I love the first game, and I know I'm going to love this game. Let's talk about the trailer. All right, the trailer opens up with Cal investigating some kind of, I don't know, looks like an abandoned facility. Somebody's in prison there. They're in what looks like to me to be a bacta tank, however you say it. Looks like this person is imprisoned here. We don't know who this guy is. We don't know if Cal is searching him out, if he found him accidentally. But, what I think is, it looks to me is he was looking for him. We don't know who he is at this point. Character looks very, very interesting.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
He's talking about the Jedi Order being disbanded. He talks about the Jedi ceasing to exist, essentially. And he talks about being betrayed. Was this guy a former Jedi? Was he a former Padawan like Cal? A very mysterious character for sure. He also talks about being betrayed by the one he trusted the most. Now, if there's not a recipe for the falling to the dark side of the Force, I don't know what is in Star Wars. He also talks about not being imprisoned. So it looks like this guy is a prisoner. We don't know why. We'll find out. All right, combat looks really good so far in this game. Looks like everything we've loved from the first game. It looks like they're going to build upon it even at an even greater scale in this game. At one point, you see Cal force grab a stormtrooper. He has a shield, turns the stormtrooper around, uses his own shield, the stormtrooper shield, to block incoming laser fire. Fantastic. It also looks like Cal crash lands on some planet. Now, is he on the run from the Empire? Seer, and we'll get to Seer in a second. Seer mentions how Cal is pretty much the #1 enemy of the Empire at this point.
I hear you've been busy making yourself the Empire's most wanted.
And if he's crash landing on a planet, is he being chased? Did he, suffer some attacks, running through space and he was forced to crash land on some planet. Did he mean to go to this planet? We don't know, but he's crash landing, which tells me that you don't just crash land for no reason. So he crash landed on some planet. We don't know why he's there. Maybe he stumbles upon this guy in the tank. Who knows? We'll find out. All right, let's get into Sia really quick. I love Sia from the first game. Why I loved her character so much is because she touched the dark side. She became afraid of the Force. She cut herself off from the Force because essentially she saw what happened to Anakin Skywalker. She doesn't say that at all in the first game. She just refers to Vader as it's him. She knows who Vader is. Let's be real. So she feels a closeness to the dark side, or drawn to the dark side, based upon her feelings of anger for what happened during Order 66. That's what I get. So she cuts herself off from the Force, and now in this game, she looks full-blown Jedi. Not only does she look full-blown Jedi, she looks like a Jedi master, what a Jedi master would be, almost like Grandmaster status. And where is she? What setting is this? You know, it looks like she's in some kind of library. To have her and Cal kind of built something in secret? Who knows? We'll find out. All right, this guy, some guy says, let's remind his Jedi of why his kind deserve to be dead.
A Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
All right, that's a great line. This guy, we don't know who he is, says to Cal, oh, well, look, we have a Jedi over here. Let's remind him of why he should be dead. Remind me of why I should be dead. He's heard why the Jedi should be dead. Okay? Is he being manipulated by the Empire? Is he just some kind of henchman? We don't know who this guy is, but it's a really interesting choice of words that he says to Cal and this guy he's about to fight. Remind this Jedi of why he should be dead. And when somebody says or somebody uses the word should, that generally is based upon an opinion. Like, why should you do this? It's an opinion-based statement. So if this guy is reiterating an opinion-based statement, he heard it from somebody else. So, you know, he obviously works for the Empire, but I thought it was a very interesting choice of words that let's remind this Jedi of why he should be dead, not that he deserves to be dead. It's not an ideological statement. It's an opinionated statement. I really hope we get the splitting of the lightsaber and the double blades right in the beginning of the game. We got that toward the end of the first game. I really hope we get it right in the beginning. I love playing that way. I love being able to hold a lightsaber in each hand. It was a really fun mechanic in the first game. And I really hope we start off with something like that. Chances are we probably won't. That's the way these games work, but, you know, fingers crossed, let's hope. All right, looks like Cal has a buddy in this game. We don't know who this guy is, but what I really enjoyed seeing is this guy, it appears to me, that you could use him in combat. I love being able to call on a partner in combat, you know, kind of like God of War with Kratos and Atreus, just having somebody in the background to kind of give little jabs at your enemies while you finish them off. I really like that fighting mechanic. All right, who is the guy in the robe?
The Jedi is a threat.
Not now that we have this.
All right. I think that's him saying that the Jedi are a threat, and now they have something that maybe they could use against Cal and against the Jedi on the run. The same goon that you saw earlier in the trailer, you know, that looks like a half robot or whatever, who pretty much said, you know, Cal, this is why the Jedi should be dead. He's in the scene with this guy. You know, we don't know who this guy is, but call me crazy, and this is me going out on a whim here. Could this guy be a clone of Cal? Looks a little bit like Cal to me. Got longer hair. Could it be a clone of him? I mean, that's not out of the question, especially during this era of Star Wars. You know, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, right? He could very easily be a clone of Cal. Maybe all the Padawans were cloned. and we don't know about it. They could make that up, you know? That's one thing that's great about the fine details in these games. This guy looks just like Cal to me, okay? And he's young like Cal. You know, he looks like some kind of authority figure. Maybe he's a senator. You know, who knows? Maybe he's, I don't know, maybe he's another Sith. But he looks a lot like Cal to me, which raises an eyebrow. Could he be a clone? Now, I could be totally off base. But, I don't know, something to think about. Okay, force powers look phenomenal in this game. He's slowing down, you know, laser blasts. Okay, he's deflecting lasers left and right. We see another shot toward the end of the trailer of the two blades, which makes me think, please, please, give me the two lightsabers in the beginning of the game. Please, EA, make that happen. If one of you guys see this video, this is me telling you, let's do this. Double blades, you know, click, double blades right at the beginning. Do it. It's worth it. Fans will love it. You're welcome.
As long as we fight. Hope survives.
Cal, right at the end of the trailer, has the best line of the whole trailer. As long as we fight, hope survives. And hope is a big theme in Star Wars. It might be the foundational theme of Star Wars, if you will. I'm not going to get into that. That I could go on for, you know, an hour about the theme of hope in Star Wars. Don't get me started on that. But he talks about hope. And as long as we fight, it keeps hope alive. It just fits perfectly into the Star Wars universe. What a fantastic line. Notice how they end the trailer with that line because it's so profound. And I'm really looking forward to playing this game. This game is going to be one where I sit down, I take my time with it, I digest every second of it, because I enjoy this era of Star Wars so much. And I really, really like Cal Kestis as a character. Here you have a padawan surviving for his life. He was a child when Order 66 happened. We saw what happened to him, you know, in the first game. Survivor is the best word I can use to describe Cal. I can't wait to see where his story leads us to. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, comment, ring that bell for Dad Bod Gaming. I'll see you in the next one.